Hello, everyone, and welcome into the very first edition of a Go Big Blue Country Zoom podcast. I'm joined by 2020 Kentucky signee Devin Askew. Devin, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Devin, we tried this a few minutes ago, and we had some technical difficulties, so let's hope that we can get this one under control.
Yes, sir.
But I'm sure, it fits what's going on right now. Not everything's going as planned, is it? I mean, the world's sort of in a state that I don't think we'd ever really see it in. And I'm sure this hasn't been the ideal spring and early summer that you had hoped for going into your final year of high school and eventually Kentucky. What are some things you've been doing during quarantine to sort of pass the time?
Um, I just really been hanging out with my family, just like watching movies with them, playing video games with my little brother. And then other than that, just doing homework to finish my classes for my senior year and going to the gym and working out. That's about it.
And the gym that you're working out in, it's a private gym. You're fortunate to be able to get in there. That's the one thing your dad told me a couple of weeks ago, that you're
Yes,
blessed
sir.
to have a place where you're still aware of COVID-19, you're still maintaining social distancing, you're safe, and then you're right back home. Well,
Yes,
Darren
sir.
Collison, a 10-year NBA veteran, has been coming in to work with you. That's a guy that you're very familiar with. So tell me about your
Yes,
all
sir.
relationship.
DC and I, we started working a year ago. We picked it up at the beginning of my junior/senior year. And ever since then, he's just been helping get me better and been really like a real mentor, a big brother to me. And it's been cool to pick his brain and learn from him. It's been really cool.
That's the thing. Everything that I've read about you, I know the Athletic put out a story. I think it was on the same day I put mine out about Darren Collison, which was kind of odd because we did not have that planned. But theirs included some info from Russell Westbrook, which is the AAU team that you played for on the EYBL circuit. So
Yes,
what
sir.
does that mean to have guys like Russell Westbrook stop to answer questions about Devin Askew, a kid that was in high school? I mean, what does that
Yeah.
mean?
It means a lot just to have like NBA veteran players and NBA like players that are really good in the NBA notice me and see something in me. It's definitely a confidence booster and it just gives me more like it makes me want to work harder and get to their level and I want to play against them one day.
And now these workouts with DC, I want to talk a little bit about those because I'm sure he's not taking it easy on you. I'm sure they're high intensity. Uh,
Yeah.
what is it? Maybe an hour, 5 days a week that you're in there?
We go like an hour 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and we grind in there. It's all seriousness in there. And that comes from both of us. Just me being so locked in. I don't want to play around when I'm in there. I want to get better. I want to maximize everything. I'm going 110% every time. And him just being locked in with me, and we're on the same page. And it's like, let's go.
And he played at a blue blood program. I mean, he played at
Yeah,
UCLA. I know that was over a decade ago. Do you pick his brain sort of about that, what it's like playing at a program that is used to winning national championships?
for sure. Just like getting, he really helped me understand how to be a good leader and how certain players are like not like within our group but just how to be a good leader and how to like coach them as a point guard and how to talk to them and stuff like that and just picking his brain with a winning team. You said just how to be the leader, and that's what really stuck with me, and that's what I've taken from him for sure.
And then one thing that you all have been working on is your quicker release. I know your shot. You have a really nice shot. I know it shows up in the highlight videos. I know
Yes, sir.
that's something that you like to do. But DC was talking to me that he wants you to get a quicker release, especially not only for Kentucky, but whatever awaits after Kentucky. So
Yes,
talk to
sir.
me a little bit about that.
We've been changing my shot, so it's more like we're not dipping the ball as much. It's all straight up. So when I catch, it goes straight up with the shot, and it's been super helpful. I mean, I feel like I got more power because I'm using my core more in my shot. I got more power, and my shot's straight. Like it's more straight. So, I mean, if he's telling me he knows the game, and whatever he says, I'm gonna do because I trust him and I trust his coaching ability. So, I mean, my shot looks 10 times better. I'll say that.
Well, I'm sure Big Blue Nation loves to hear that. But speaking of Big Blue Nation, when the season ended, it's hard to believe it's been 2 months. I think today, I think was maybe, or yesterday was the last game of the regular season at Florida. And then
Yeah,
obviously the NCAA tournament, SEC tournament, they didn't get to play it. Kentucky looked like they were going to make a run. Well,
yep,
since then, there's been a lot of turnover. I mean, most of the team, I think Keon Brooks is the only one coming back that played along with Dante Allen. There's 9 new faces joining the program, including yourself, which is a really high number for even a place like Kentucky. What has that
yeah.
been like to sort of sit back from a distance and just watch all this unfold over the last few weeks?
I mean, it's honestly amazing because you see the players, all the players that did what they had to do at Kentucky and are now chasing their dreams of playing professionally, and that's really cool. And that's a place like Kentucky. That's what they offer, and that's what you have a great chance of getting to your dreams and getting to your goals because of the coaches and the players that go there. They just make you that much better. And then just seeing the group of kids that are coming in with me, like, man, we're gonna be, like Coach Kyle says, we're gonna be special, and I believe it. I mean, it's not going to be easy all the time, but we're going to grind through it and we're going to be special. So I'm excited.
And I got to ask you about the most recent news. So we're recording on Friday. So Wednesday, Olivier Sarr announced that he's transferring to Kentucky. What was your reaction when you found out that you had a veteran big man coming to Kentucky to play with you?
I was excited. I was so excited because we got a true big man. Let's get these pick and rolls happening. Let's go. I want to get in that pick and roll already. I watch some of his stuff because I get curious. Like, whenever we get a new player, I like to watch their stuff to get familiar with them and see how they play so I can play with them. So, like, I have an edge and I already know what they do and what they like to do. And, man, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
And before we get into some of the guys that are coming in with you as a freshman, I got to
Yeah.
ask you about, Davion Mintz, who was the first pickup of the offseason,
Yep.
graduate transfer from Creighton, who's going to be, helping you in the backcourt. What do
Yep.
you, I think a lot of people will probably look at that at first as like, wonder what Devin thinks about them bringing in another point guard. And I
Yeah.
don't think some people might see it as, oh, maybe he doesn't like that. I don't think that's the case. Every time I've
No.
talked to your dad, I think you reached out and you have a pretty good relationship with him already, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't take any, like, people say, like, oh my God, that's downplaying Devin and all this. Like, no, like, I need any team needs a backup point guard or a point guard to go with me because if you only have one point guard, say I get in foul trouble, who's going to come in and bring the ball up the court? Like, I know TC can do it, BJ can do it, and other players can do it, but they have their position what they're really good at, and I'm really good at bringing the ball up the court and leading the team. We need another point guard to play with each other, and he's really good. And I reached out to him like, man, I'm excited to play with you. Like, welcome to the family because I can learn from him as well. Like, I'm excited to play with him, and he's a cool guy.
I mean, we saw it this past year. Kentucky played 3 guys that played point guard in high school. They played them together.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm sure that's something that Coach Cal and the staff has pitched to you as well. Now,
Yes, sir.
you're best with the ball in your hands. All your tape, that's where you're strongest and stuff. But
Yes, sir.
you also have a really nice jump shot. You have a really good 3-point stroke, which I know that's something that you and DC are working on now. How much do
Yep.
you think that helps you, that even if let's say you slide over and you play that 2 spot some, does that help
Yeah.
you and expand you maybe to possibly get more minutes?
Oh, for sure. I mean, whatever coach asks me to do, I'm doing it. So I know I got to do whatever he asks to get on that court, and I'm gonna do it. And I'm comfortable playing the 2 spot. Say, if Davion comes in and I'm at the 1 and he's at the 2, we could do that. If he's at the 1 and I'm at the 2, we could do that too because I can shoot the ball and I can make plays from the 2 spot. And it's not like I can't be a leader from the 2 spot. If he's bringing up the ball, I could be calling out stuff like, "Yo, this is where we're running," and still being vocal out there and still being the leader. So I have no problems with that at all.
Now, talk to me about your relationship with the guys in your class, the Isaiah Jacksons, the BJ Boston, who I know you're very familiar with, played against BJ,
Yeah.
multiple times out there, Terrence Clark. Just tell me a little bit about your all's relationship. And I'm sure do y'all have like a text group, Snapchat group, something where you all communicate?
Yeah. Yeah, we got a group chat for sure on text. we it's man, it's fun. To be honest, it's a great group of kids, and we all know each other. We're all familiar with each other. We played against each other in the summer with AAU basketball in the EYBL circuit, and it's just like I feel like we're gonna bond from day one when we get out there. It's gonna be no issues at all, and it's gonna be exciting because that within all of us, like we all love to compete and we all love the game of basketball. And that's what makes the game fun is when we all love to compete, and it's gonna be cool.
Now you're more of a professional at Zoom than I am. So I know you've been on. I think this is my second Zoom in 2 days, but I know Coach
Yeah,
Al has been checking in with you all via Zoom. What have some
yes.
of those conversations been like over the last few weeks? I know because this is a weird time for him. And what do you think about the John Calipari beard he has going on?
Man, I'm sorry, coach, but when season starts, we gotta shave that thing. I shave mine. We gotta shave it, coach. But those Zoom calls, he's that's what I love about him. He's so real. Just stay in shape, be ready. That's all he's saying. Be ready, stay in shape. Don't come in here lazy and out of shape because it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna take a toll on you because there's gonna be a lot of throwing it up if you're not. We're gonna get you in shape. But other than that, he's just been talking to us about staying safe and how special our team is and staying ready for the season whenever that comes.
Now, a couple weeks ago, I talked to your dad for a story. I actually put it together about you and Darren Collison and the workouts. Well, one thing that I asked your dad was, what is Coach Cal like when he walks into your living room to recruit you? And the
Yeah,
one thing your dad told me, it's the same thing you see on TV is the same thing you get when he walks into your home. So what was it like for you when Coach Cal come in, Coach Justice, whoever was there with him, comes in to recruit you?
yeah,
What are those conversations like? Give the BBN a little bit of an idea of what it's like when he comes in. I'm sure it's we're not going to give you anything. This is going to be hard. You know all that.
yeah. I mean, you can tell he's a real down to earth person. Like people look at him like, oh, the Hall of Fame Coach Cal, which he is that, and you notice that with like from him like right from the jump. But he's he's man, I don't even know how to, he's just a real person, and those conversations are like, this is not for everyone, and we're coming at you because we think you want it. Now, what do you want? Like, what are your goals? And you got to be real with him. Like, you got to say what you want. If you're hesitant or you're like iffy about it, that's a sign of weakness. You don't do that. You got to be you got to be straight up with him, and he lets you know it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, and that's what I like to hear because when these colleges come like out and recruit you, they're offering like everything, like, oh, you're going to be the star player and all this. Like, no, I don't want to hear that. I want to know like I'm gonna be challenged out there. I'm gonna get better, and I'm gonna be pushed. And that's what really sold me because I'm a type of person that likes to prove myself, and I love competing. So anytime I have a chance to prove myself, I'm gonna do it.
And you're a West Coast kid. I know there's a lot of talk about West Coast kids coming to the UK program. They get homesick or things don't work
Yeah,
out. They go back home. I know you've been asked this before. I know my buddy Jack Pilgrim from KSR, he actually
yeah,
asked you, and you said you're different. What exactly
yeah.
do you mean by you're different?
Um, I've been traveling with this basketball stuff for a while now, and I know some other players have as well. But I'm not the type of kid that's gonna get homesick, and I'm the type of kid when I start something, I'm for sure gonna finish it. Whether that's I'm not doing so well, I don't like what I'm doing, like I'm not liking the situation that I'm in. If I start something, I'm for sure gonna finish it, no matter what. And I'm gonna give it 110% every time I'm out there. I'm not gonna complain, no nothing. You're gonna get the positive, upbeat Dev every single day in and out, and that's what makes me different because some people they don't like the situation they're in. They want to leave right away. Like you got to give things some time. Not everything's gonna be gravy from the jump. So
And the one thing too, I've brought this up to someone. How much did it help that you didn't have to make a decision like last minute to come to Kentucky? This is something that you were able to really sit down, digest, look at your options, and you made the decision to sign last fall. So you've had all this time to know that Kentucky's what you want. Where some of these guys in the past, they've sort of had like a 2-week period where Kentucky's come in late, and then
Yep.
it's Kentucky. I mean, there's not a ton of time to really think about it, but you had a lot of
Yep.
time to digest this and to know that this is the challenge you want to take on.
Yep. And when you talk about making that decision, I made the best decision, I feel like. And I mean, when you want something, there's no point to hold out and be like, let the world like, oh my God, where's he gonna go? Like, no, this is something between you and your goals. Like, and I had that opportunity on the table. I wasn't just gonna let it sit there for someone else to grab. No, that's mine. I'm taking that.
And the one thing when I turn on tape that I see from you, I immediately noticed that your dad actually talked to me about it, is
Yeah.
your fire and intensity. Like
Yeah.
it's all over you. Your emotion, you wear it on your shoulder, and it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I wear my heart on my sleeve for sure.
Is that something we're going to see at Kentucky?
Oh, for sure. The intensity is crazy. Like, I mean, an intense game, it really shows I'm really locked in, and it's gonna be exciting, and energy's gonna be on 100%. I mean, I just remember the PJM EYBL session when we were in the championship game and going to it every single game. It was like, man, we're fighting out here. We're getting down, and we're fighting out here for sure.
One more question, I'll let you go because I know you're wanting to take a nap because
Oh, no worries, no
I'm sure
worries.
you've already put that workout in today, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. I woke up in the morning. Yes, sir.
So, what is one thing that you expect when you get to Kentucky? If there's one thing that's already in your mind that you know is going to happen when you get there, what is one thing that you're expecting from Kentucky?
um, I would say from the outside people that are not with Kentucky's program, a lot of hate. Um, and coming from the state of Kentucky, like because I didn't go to Louisville, there's gonna be a lot of hate and people that really like, oh, he's not built for all this stuff. But then within Kentucky, there's gonna be a lot of love, and the fans are gonna show a lot of support, and that's what I know I'm going to get from Kentucky. I know that because I mean, you can just tell by all the players that they have, they love their players. And I know I'm gonna have the support of Kentucky's fans and the people in Lexington at least will be on my side. So that's what I know.
Yeah, and you got to win a couple of championships. That way, when you get with DC, you got to tell him that Kentucky's closing in on UCLA.
Hey, I don't want to jinx anything, but those are my goals: SEC championship and NCAA championship for sure. And if I get one, I'm going straight to DC. Like, yep, look at this.
Look what you helped me get. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
Devin, best of luck to you. And I know you're looking forward to getting to Kentucky, but continue to stay safe out there and just wait this thing out. And hopefully you'll be on campus pretty soon. Thank you so much for taking some time to join me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Welcome back, everyone. And now we're joined by 10-year NBA veteran, Darren Collison. Darren, thanks so much for joining me today.
Good, man. Thank you for having me.
And I just want to talk to you a little bit about Devin Askew. I had Devin on earlier, and I know I wrote the story earlier this month, or last month actually, about your all's
Right.
relationship and the workouts that are going on between you two. Just tell everyone a little bit about your relationship with Devin, how long you've known him.
You know, I know Dev for about 2 summers now, 2 years. I've been working with him for 2 summers. You know, we just kind of hit it off because me and my family, we moved out here about a couple years ago, and I wanted to get back to the community in some way or form, and I started training like youth athletes just around the area. And I came across, you know, which I didn't know at the time, one of the best guards in the country. And his dad and I kind of hit it off, and we got a chance to kind of, you know, talk about Devin, and from there kind of work with him. And from there on, it's just been a perfect match.
Yeah. What's been the biggest improvement you've seen in him over the last couple of months? Well, especially since all this, you know, the quarantine hit and everything, and I know those workouts continued in a private gym while still social distancing.
I think the best improvement I've seen from him is he's a lot more tighter with his game, and everything. His handles is tighter. He's a little bit loose. He had good handles and like, his career in high school, especially his last year, of course. But now he's a lot more tighter with his dribble. He's stronger. His shot looks even better. And he's been known as a really good shooter. He doesn't drop the ball. One of the things that we worked on was him just catching from an area where he could just catch and shoot, because we know the college is going to be a lot more faster with the pace. And he's always had the ability to create, so we still work on passing stuff, but I think the most improvement that I've seen with him is his jump shot.
And that's something too. He's best with the ball in his hands. That's something that I've noticed about Devin when I've watched him.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're focused a lot on him off the ball, catching, coming off screens, those pin downs, things like that. Is that something that you just want him to do to expand his game, to be able to play on or off the ball at Kentucky, and then wherever basketball takes him after that?
Well, he can do both. I think, from what I heard is that they want to use him to do both. I think if you look at the guards nowadays, especially in the league, the best players are be able to play with the ball and off the ball, especially from a point guard and shooting guard position. I mean, you look at Steph, Trey Young, these guys are really good with the ball, but, they're extremely good shooters off the ball too as well. So we view Devin as a really good point guard who loves to pass, which is a plus, but he can play off the ball if need be. And it just adds to his game.
And now you played at a program at UCLA that, under a national spotlight, a blue blood program. How much do you think it helps Devin that he has someone like you that can, sort of give him the ins and outs of playing point guard at a high level program like Kentucky, like UCLA?
Well, I know me personally, if I was in this situation and, I had an NBA player that can work with me every single day, I know it helped my game out tremendously. And for me, on the other side, I just want to give back and help. I just enjoy basketball. I enjoy teaching it. I enjoy learning it. So having this opportunity to work with a player like Devin, and, Devin makes my job easier. He doesn't complain. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. So it's easy to come into the gym and work with somebody like that. And he's one of the hardest workers, not just somebody that I've trained, but in all of basketball since I've been around. I've never seen a work ethic of his. And he makes it a lot easier for me to give up that knowledge. And it's only going to help him because he's working with somebody that's actually played in college at that level and who's actually played at a higher level than college. And that's something that he's, eventually trying to get to, whenever that need be.
And now I know you're no longer playing. You're no longer in the NBA as of right now. How much does it help, though, to fill that void with working with someone like Devin and other, young basketball players that have the same dreams that you had?
Yeah, I mean, it fills the void now. I mean, most players, we kind of don't know what to do with ourselves when we're done playing or when basketball's not around. But, if you look at some of the great players we have in our league today, they enjoy teaching the game themselves. And it's if they're not playing it, they're teaching it. And it's just another sign of, players that just love the game. And I love this game a lot. And it doesn't take much for me to teach the game. I can do it for free. I can do it for whenever out the day. These kids once they're eager to learn, like Devin, it makes it easier.
And one more thing now, he talked to me earlier and he told me, UCLA has 11 titles, Kentucky has 8. He told me he wants to win one at Kentucky so he can come back to you and tell you that Kentucky's getting closer to that mark.
I hope so. I really do hope so. I hope he has something to brag about. That would be good for him, but it may take a while. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. They have a good team, this year. And they're going to always have a good team every year, and they're always going to have an opportunity. So if he wins, it'll be good for him, especially for him.
Yeah, and UCLA's on the schedule, so that's a fun game right there for him. But Darren, I really appreciate you taking some time to join me. I appreciate you taking time a few weeks ago to put the story together with me. I saw where The Athletic actually did one with you too, and we released it on the same day. It wasn't even planned, so both stories came out. But thank you for taking time out of your schedule.
Do me a favor, Shawn. This is my first year. This is kind of like my first time going through this whole training thing, and so what I tell the reporters, just give my training company a shout out. You know what I mean? We're trying to help a lot of kids within the area. Some of these kids don't have the talent or the money, to afford it. You know what I mean? But we're helping everybody out, and we're just trying to help the community out in any way we can. And it's called. I'm gonna text you the name, and just if you could just give that company a shout out along with your article, I'm fine with that.
Perfect.